Hello and welcome to Lesson 38, page 262 and 263. This is the song titled Celebration Day in our Level 1 book. And we are getting to the last two songs of your Level 1 book, Celebration Day, and then Ring the News is up next. And the final piece in the book is an ensemble. So these are the last two just standalone songs that we're going to be playing together. And I think that Celebration Day is a great look into what you will be doing in the Level 2 book. And you will be playing a lot of hands together. So what we're going to talk about today is a great practice technique or method to practice a song when you have two hands playing at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at two sections of our song today. And whatever sections we don't touch on together, I want you to do the same method on your own. We're going to look at measures 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're also going to look at 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, just to review some important terms in our song, looks like at the very beginning we do have some dynamics. This is a forte mark. Remember, forte means to play loud. I guess it's a loud celebration for Celebration Day. And let's see if we have any other dynamics in the song. And right here, we have a P that stands for piano. Okay, so we're going to have a loud section of the song for the first 8 measures, and then the next 8 measures will be soft. So we call that some dynamic contrast. We have a loud section and a soft section. Okay, let's look at these first 4 measures of our song, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll put a little bracket here on measure 4, so that's where we're going to stop. And then here's measure 1. Okay, first let's find our finger numbers. So our finger numbers, it says in the left hand, bass clef is left hand, finger 3 on A. So I'm going to take finger 3. Oops, it looks like my camera's disconnected. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to take finger 3, 1, 2, 3, and put it on A. And in the right hand, let's take a look together. It says finger 4 in the right hand is on our first note, F. So we've got A, and then I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 on F. So here's our hand position for the song. I'm going to leave my left hand thumb off the piano, but eventually you will use your left hand thumb on C, and it looks like the only place that happens is all the way in the very last measure on the second page, measure 16. All right, so for learning a song hands together, I know we had our hand position already, but let's leave our right hand off and just put our left hand on the piano. So we're going to put finger 1, 2, 3 on A. And here's what we're going to do. We're only going to practice left hand only. When you're playing a song hands together, it is best to master left hand only, then right hand only, or the other way around, whatever you prefer, and then try it hands together. Because what I always tell students, if you can't play the left hand by itself, then you definitely can't play hands at the same time. Or if you can't play the right hand by itself, then you definitely can't play hands at the same time. So you got to make sure that first you can play hands separately. So let's start with the left hand because it's a little easier. It's A for 4 beats, so let's play an A together. 1, 2, 3. And then it's B flat for 4 beats. Let's play B flat together. And then it goes back to A. And then there's a rest, a quarter rest. Rest. And then we play a G. Play a G with me. And then an A. And then a B flat. Those are all walk notes in measure 4. So now let's try it at a steady beat, measures 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, left hand go. A, 2, 3, 4. B flat, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. Rest. G, A, B flat. Very nice. Now let's try the right hand only. Right hand finger 4. It's all walk notes except for measure 4, we play an E. So we have in measure 1, F and C. So play an F, now C. Go back to F and C. And now you're going to go back to F again. But in measure 2, we start playing D instead of C. Back to F, and then a D. Now in measure 3, we go back to F and C. Play an F, and a C, and an F, and a C. And can you say what note's in measure 4 before I get there? What's in measure 4 in the right hand? That's right, it's an E. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try the right hand at a steady beat. Here we go. 1, 2. Here we go. F, C, F, C. Now F, D, F, D, F, D, F, C, F, C, E. 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now, playing hands together can be frustrating because when you try it sometimes after you've played the left hand only and the right hand only, it still doesn't work. So my first tip will be to be patient. It is okay. You will get it the more that you practice. I promise it only gets easier. And as musicians, the first time we try something, sometimes it's not going to go as planned, and that's okay. All right. So the last thing we want to look at is that in measure 4, I want you to notice the right hand plays first because you rest in the left hand, and then you play G, A, B flat. So here's how that sounds in measure 4. Here I go. G, A, B flat. And you have to remember to keep holding the note in your right hand. But what we're going to do is try to play the first 4 measures hands together. Now for you, you may not be able to get through hands together at this point, and that is okay. You can just try it one measure at a time on your own. But here I go for the first 4 measures. 1, 2, from the start. F, C, F, C, D, F, D, F, C, F, C, E, G, A flat, B flat. Very, very good. Okay, so that is a great workflow to work through a hands together song. Right hand or left hand only, and then try hands together in as small pieces as you need. But let's look at measures 13 through 16 and try the same thing. Now, I want you to notice that at the end of the song, there's a D, C, al fine, okay? What that stands for is da capo al fine, and it's an Italian phrase that means from the beginning to the end. And I drew an arrow to the word fine, which happens to mean end. So when you get to the end of our song in measure 16 and you play this G, you go all the way back to the start of our song and you keep playing until measure 8 is over, and then the song is over. Okay? All right, let's look at the next 4 measures. Let's start with the left hand again. We have B flat, an F in measure 13, and then another B flat. Remember the flat rule that if there's a flat in a measure, it stays flat. And then back to F, and then we play A, F, A, back to F, and then you play a B natural here, white key B. And now we play at the measure 16, C with our thumb. Remember I mentioned that earlier. B flat, A, and G. Let's try that at a steady beat together. 1, 2, measure 13 to the end, go. B flat, F, B flat, F. Now A, F. B natural, B 2, 3, 4, C, B flat, A, G, and then I'd go back to the beginning of the song. All right, the right hand, pretty simple. What's the note in measure 13 for the right hand? It's a D. And then a C in measure 14. And in measure 15, we play D, D, E, F. And E in measure 16. Let's give that a try together at a steady beat. 1, 2, here we go. D, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D, D, E, F, E, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to put hands together now. Here we go. Okay, hands together now, 13 to the end. 1, 2, here we go. B flat, F, A, F, A, F, D, D, E, F. Very good. Now, we're going to try from the very beginning of our song now. And the last thing to mention, we didn't practice many of the dynamics that we talked about at the beginning of the song, and that can be something that can be added at the very end of our practice. Right now, we're worried about playing the right notes, the right rhythms, and our hands together. But when you try to start to also add playing loud and playing soft, and you haven't quite mastered the song yet, it can be a little too tricky. So we can hold off on the volume of the song until the end, but I'll try to do a loud first 8 measures for you, and a soft next 8 measures, and then back to loud for our end of the song. Okay, let's get our hands ready and try All of Celebration Day. All right, here we go from the start. 1, 2, here we go. C. Measure 5. Now the left hand takes over. Try and be softer here. Measure 12 coming. Don't forget, be natural here. And we're going back to the start. Be a little louder, because we're playing forte. E. And I added a little ritardando at the end of that. And we are done. Excellent. Well, congratulations on getting this far in the level 1 book. And I'll see you on your final song before your final ensemble, which will be, let's go ahead and scroll down to our last song, Ring the News. I'll see you on the next one.